Tigers coming down the home stretch of the 2018 regular season. More on that in a minute, but first, the big news Tuesday afternoon, Saints running back Mark Ingram has been suspended for the first 4 games of the upcoming season for violating the league's policy on performance-enhancing substances. The news coming down Tuesday around 3:30, he'll miss the first 4 games against the Bucs, the Browns, the Falcons, and the Giants. Reportedly, Ingram hasn't been around the facilities in the offseason and won't participate in OTAs. He is eligible to play in the preseason and participate in all offseason activities. Ingram rushed for a career best of 1,124 yards and 12 touchdowns last season alongside fellow Pro Bowler Alvin Kamara. The RPI of the LSU baseball team sits at 50 as of Tuesday as the Tigers are getting set for their midweek matchup against McNeese. You may remember last season when the Tigers went on a 16-game winning streak to end the year. With 8 regular season games remaining, could there be another magical run in the works?
You always hope that the confidence of the team is really high right now. I feel like we're playing really good baseball. We're playing, outstanding. We're putting a lot of hits together, a lot of pitching's coming together. It's all coming together, and hopefully we can pull it together and keep doing this for a good run.
Always a tough matchup against the Louisiana schools in the midweek games for LSU Tigers. LSU is 1-2 against the Cowboys the last 3 seasons. Carly Hoover wouldn't say how close to 100% she is heading into the SEC tournament. However, Hoover did sit out the last series against Arkansas with back spasms this past weekend. Despite her day-to-day status, she says Allie Waljasper and the rest of the bullpen are more than capable heading into Columbia.
And not just a 1-2 punch. We have a deep bullpen. We have 4 people right now that's throwing well for us right now. At any time in the season, and I think you definitely saw that with Florida, with Shelby and MB stepping up. So no matter who's thrown out there, I think we have a really good shot, and our bats are hot right now. So at the end of the day, if you score more than the other team, you win games. So that's all that really matters.
LSU Ole Miss tomorrow at Mizzou Stadium at 4 o'clock. The game will be televised on SEC Network and streamed on SEC Network Plus. Winner faces Tennessee Thursday at 4. With the Pelicans facing elimination, they have their work cut out for them. Though they have upset the Warriors at Oracle Arena before this season, overall they're 2-8 in their last 10 games against Golden State. Alvin Gentry seems to focus more on the fact that it has been done and that it can be done again.
Texted me, but I'm gonna hit the panic button on this one.
Oh my gosh. We haven't convinced you yet?
We gave up too much to get this defensive end that we don't know that much about. He sounds like a great kid, great dude, probably pretty talented. My man Mastopsy said he's very raw. I don't like the amount that we gave up because, again, we've talked about this, and it can go either way. That if one thing happens to Drew Brees, a brittle, old 39,
Look, I'm going to have to, get a
Drew
block
Brees.
of wood, because the amount of times you've said this today, you got me nervous over here.
I know, that's what I'm trying to do.
But
That's
that
what a
can
good
happen to
argument
anybody,
does.
not because it's a good argument.
Exactly, that's what it can happen to anybody. And if it happens this year to the Saints, and you
think
left
about
without a viable option backup-wise,
okay, so
that's a problem.
If we would have picked the best pick that would have made you happy, he could have also gotten hurt. So you know what? We can sit here and go back and forth with the hypothetical hurt-cost
Drew Brees
ratio.
is the heart and soul of this team at this point. If he gets hurt, things drastically change over there.
Right.
You've got to rely more on the defense. Not that you're not already relying on the defense, but to me, I like the pick. I'm not knocking the pick. I think it was the right pick. I just didn't like giving up a first round to do it.
A late first rounder? Like if you knew, let me ask you this: if you knew for sure, so they told you, listen, next year you're going to be anywhere from 27 to 32nd pick. You knew that going into it. Would you have picked him there? Would you have traded up?
Would you have traded up?
Would you then justify it, or is it just because it's the first round draft pick, and you think so highly because you're thinking probably more of the 1 through,
Well, at this point, you give another team 2 first-round draft picks that's in your own division that you're going to be competing with to get to the Super Bowl. That's what I have a problem with for the Saints. As a Packer fan, I'm sitting here. I love it. That's fine.
Oh, yeah, you little packhead you.
It's good with me. If you could be the 29th overall pick next year, we're going to be the 32nd. So it's.
I already claimed the 32nd. I've already spoken it into existence. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I predicted
crazy.
the last Super Bowl,
She's
so
crazy.
just bear with me.
She's a little hunger deficient at this point. So.
I'm delusional.
Yeah, she might be.
That's the part I'm sad about.
No, you're one of these. This is what I don't get about college football fans. Again, we've talked about this, I think, last time. Is that SEC fans? If you're a fan of LSU, how the heck can you root for an Alabama?
We talked about this
Georgia?
last time.
I know, but I don't.
It's because
don't get
at
it.
the end of the day, that's like saying,
me.
okay, at the end of the day, let's say,
why are you rooting for Alabama and
but
Georgia?
wait,
Because you're
let's say your
recruiting against
cousin,
those
but wait,
teams.
let's say your cousin plays, let's say you're an athlete, your cousin plays for another team, and whatever. You're going to say that you don't want him to do well as well? Like, no, it's family. Like, this is our conference. Like, we want to be a statement, a dynasty as a whole, so
If
that
I'm
you
playing
know,
against
so that you
him-
know you can't have the conversation you're arguing about, oh, UTSA, who are they? Who do they play? No, you won't have that conversation in the SEC because we are showing you that we are the best, we dominate, and look what we put in the league. Amen, done, you know, period. Like,
Yeah, but
so,
I
of course,
can't-
we want it to keep building, you know, that.
Yeah, but then if you are an LSU fan, you look at the other teams in the conference, and you're recruiting against these guys and
Right.
these
I mean,
schools.
technically,
So
no.
players are going to want to go to Alabama and Georgia because they've had more success recently.
Right. Okay. Like,
So I don't want them to do as well because I want to do better than them. So players will come, play with me. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
I understand where you're
Yeah.
coming from, but that's the way I look at it. Just as a sports fan, as a guy that's just getting into college football, and year before I moved down here, I started to get really into it a little bit more. So for me, it's just kind of hard to wrap my head around that. Man, I have to root for these schools because.
but I mean, at the end of the day, like, that's when you really got to have, like, the right people in place for recruiting. Like, we were talking about Frank Wilson earlier. He's the best, and we had him. And I mean, you talk about some of the greats, like Odell Beckham. He got him over here. Like, yeah, he's from New Orleans, so you might think he'd want to go there. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people from New Orleans, or excuse me, from Louisiana that don't go to LSU necessarily. So that's when you got to, like, really have confidence and trust your recruiting, crew to do their job. Because at the end of the day, people are going to go where they want to go. And I don't think it should be like I don't want them to do good because they'll go there. I mean, to an extent, yes, because we haven't done.
You understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, like, I get it.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, like, we got to pull for the SEC.
In the NFL, to finish the show up,
Yes.
are you hitting the panic button or are you saying relax on the Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm definitely saying relax. I feel like the backup quarterback is as good as a lot of starting quarterbacks. Not a bad backup option. And the defense is so solid. I mean, come on. I'm not panicking. Definitely relax, pump the brakes, see how it unfolds, and watch out.
I'm saying I'm hitting the panic button. If I had some sound effects right now, I would play them for it. Rio. Yeah.
Ring the alarm.
Yeah. So I'm pushing the panic button on the Eagles right now because I don't like Nick Foles. I just don't think he does the same type of things as a Carson Wentz, and I know he's a better backup than most quarterbacks. I get it, but this team could have been special.
You're right. It's not going to be the same, but I'm not counting him out yet.
I am. I'm pushing the panic button. We're in trouble.
Went on the road. You have to play better than them.
Well, without question, LSU heads to Auburn for their most important series of this up-and-down 2018 season. If the season ended today, the Tigers would be the 6th seed at the SEC tournament and play in the Tuesday morning game. Won 5 straight series against Auburn, last year's series resulting in a sweep at the box. For the 4th year in a row, the LSU softball team is hosting a regional at Tiger Park. Last season, it took everything the Tigers had to advance to the Supers in Tallahassee and eventually Oklahoma City. Let's freak out with sports news in a minute. Thank you to all that have encouraged me to follow my heart, passion, and dream in becoming a sports broadcaster and having my own sports talk show, especially those who have contributed to building my experiences and blessing me with opportunities to do what I love. Bless you all. You all mean so much to me. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, stay tuned for what's coming up next on my journey. Also, don't forget, follow your heart and never surrender your dreams. I hope that by daring to do what I love, that I inspire and awaken the hearts of others to do the same. See you soon.